Hey everyone, and welcome back to Vlogmas day 7. Today I'm showing you how I prepare oxtails. For this recipe, you're going to need your oxtails, of course. You're going to need some browning, some Worcestershire sauce or Worcestershire. You're going to need some black pepper, some allspice, as well as some garlic powder and some salt. I'm using kosher. Then some brown sugar, as well as some soy sauce. And there are a few other things, but we'll get to that later. Take all of those ingredients and mix them in a bowl. You're going to throw in your oxtails and make sure they're fully coated. Once you do that, you're going to put them on the stove to brown. While they are browning, go ahead and cut up your carrots. You're going to need 2 carrots. Go ahead and wash them, peel them, cut off the ends, and cut them into chunks. I don't even like carrots like that, but for this recipe, because of the flavor, I am going to go ahead and use them. Now, when I say I don't like carrots, I mean specifically I don't like cooked carrots. I will eat raw carrots, nice and crunchy with some sort of dip, but for this recipe, I will just go ahead and do it. So we're gonna slice these into small little circles and put them in a bowl to the side. Once I am done with those carrots, I will go ahead and grab my onion. I'm going to cut off one side to make the peeling a lot easier. I will cut off the other side as well, and then I'll go ahead and dice this up. Alright, so back over to the browning oxtails. I'm going to go ahead and throw in the carrots and the onion. I want this to sweat down a bit, but before I do that, I'm going to deglaze my pan. So I'm going to put a little bit of beef broth in the bottom of this pan. I'm going to get all those bits off the bottom of the pan. They're going to rise into that broth, and that's going to add so much flavor when I go ahead and put this into the crock pot. But for now, I'm just going to let those carrots and those onions sweat down just a little bit, become a little bit more soft, and allow those flavors to marry. Alright, now on to some serious business. This recipe calls for some Scotch bonnet. I cannot find those this day, so I am using habaneros. I have 2 little ones, and I need to make sure that my hands don't have peppery stuff all over them, so I am using gloves. You're going to take those habaneros or those Scotch bonnets, and you are going to dice them. You're going to cut them extremely tiny so that you can get that heat. I removed the seeds, but you can keep the seeds if you want, but it's going to be extremely spicy, so make sure you keep all of that in mind when you are making this recipe for you and your family. Now, when I tell you that I am meticulously removing these seeds, I want to be able to taste after this meal. So I'm going to go ahead and julienne these. So these are going to be those small matchsticks. Then I'm going to go ahead and turn them the opposite way and slice them into really tiny dices. Alright, once all of that is done, I'm going to go ahead and take that pan. I'm going to throw everything into my crock pot. Those carrots and those onions have sweated down wonderfully. We've got some good browning on the oxtails, caramelization, and I'm just going to scrape every single little bit of this goodness into this crock pot. It's going to be amazing. All that flavor, that's nothing but flavor. Then you're gonna add in the rest of your beef broth. You are gonna add in your Scotch bonnets as well. I added a tiny bit of water. I am going to go ahead and add some cornstarch. You could make a slurry beforehand, which I believe is what you're supposed to do. But again, I have 2 kids and my brain is mush half the time. I'm going to put a bit of ketchup in here as well. I know it sounds a little strange, but that's what the recipe called for. And this is what my family likes. It actually brings out that richness. I'm going to add some thyme in here as well. And then throw in those Scotch bonnets, making sure we're not touching them. Or habaneros if you have those. Give it a good mix. Then you're going to put the top on and you are going to let this do its thing for hours. I believe the recipe says on low for 8 to 10 hours. I believe I did mine on high for about 4 or 5, maybe 6 hours. Just want to come back and check. Give it a quick stir every now and then. Make sure things are not burning or sticking. But you want these to be like super tender, like falling off the bone tender, and that is going to take some time. I went ahead and made one of our favorite side dishes. It's roasted zucchini, some olive oil, salt, oregano, and Italian seasoning in the oven for a bit. So good. I also whipped up from scratch my favorite homemade cornbread recipe to go with these oxtails. About 30 minutes before you're ready to turn your oxtails off and eat, you are going to add about a 16-ounce can of drained butter beans into your mixture. This is going to give it that unctuous good vibe, and it's just quintessential Jamaican oxtail. So go ahead and put that in there, stir it around, and let it go for about 20-30 more minutes. You don't want to do it longer than that because you don't want it to become literal mush. Alright, so here we are. Please don't judge me by my plating. I'm just ready to eat. I hope you all enjoyed this recipe. If you did, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Leave me that fork and knife emoji down in the comments below, and I will see you tomorrow. Remember, as always, to fill your cup. Bye!
Hold up, I am on my way. I'm in motion. Let's go to the ocean. Yeah, let's go outside. We can hang out on the beach without freezing.